Hey everybody, it's Rip Fletching. I thought, I do a lot of stuff on archery, how to sharpen broadheads, things like that. I'm down in my tool room, in a little archery room. So let me close this door. I've got the washer next to us. Yeah. Fall over. Anyway, I thought, I teach you guys how to sharpen broadheads and stuff, but not a knife. Most of you know how to sharpen a knife, but there may be people out there who don't, new into it, just got a new knife, which is the case with me, was dull. You need to get a good edge on it. Thought I'd go over that. So this is a Gerber I bought. Can I check that out? It's kind of a cheapie. It's not a high dollar, but it has a good feel to it. It's got a good knife blade profile. I just kind of like it. It's really tight, really strong, no flex in it at all. Clips really well built. I mean, it is stout. It's braided on both sides. It's a good product. I mean, it really is for the price. And so I thought what I'd do is a little video on just how to sharpen it. And I've got a little piece of leather. I want to show you guys something. I know a lot of y'all, you wish you had a leather strap, to really work your blade over once you're finished. I'll show you something kind of cool. All right, so let's get this video started. I'll put this down toward the whetstone. So this is a little whetstone I have. It's a three-sided. And we're just gonna go ahead and start with the course. Excuse me, I've had a head cold for a while. I strongly recommend doing this. Even if your blade has a little bit of an edge on it already, it'll kind of help you establish the angle that you're gonna use. Most knife blades, like this type of knife, when you buy it, has about a 22-degree angle. Now there's a way you can figure that out by taking a piece of paper, folding it over diagonally, folding it one more time. That's about a 22.5 degree angle, which is what most commercial knives come at. So that's kind of self-explanatory. I won't go over that. And I honestly don't think it's that important. What I do think is important is duplicating that stroke and actually getting one that you're comfortable with, because you're going to manipulate that fine edge of that tip when you're sharpening. So find one you're comfortable with. All right, so we'll start with, this has 3 different stones on it. We'll start out with the coarse. I put a little WD-40 on my rocks. Just 2 reasons. One, I like to go over it, see if there's any grit, and if there is, I'll move it to one end and then get rid of it. So if there's any grit on there, get off of it. And it kind of helps not wear out your stone as bad. The oil will help that knife blade move and not be jerky, and kind of move more smoothly. So I'll re-oil it now. All right, spread that out. No grit on there. So I'm gonna take my blade, I'm gonna put it at a 22, about a 22.5 degree angle is perfect, but when you're doing this, you're gonna create your own angle. So the one that you're comfortable with, and start at the base, and we're gonna angle down through that off to the tip. At the base to the tip, okay? Don't cut yourself. And we're just gonna do a few strokes on here. This being a pretty new knife, it doesn't need much. So I'm actually gonna stop there. I can tell this is already probably getting the direction I need to go. Now, I'm gonna move to the medium stone. Make sure and rub your blade with a piece of cloth. Make sure there's no grit left on it, because that coarse rock can leave grit. There again, I oil the stone. Spread out the oil and work it to one end to remove any grit. Because the grit will put a chip in your blade, because the fine cutting tip on that blade is very thin. And there we go. All right. So there again, we're going to do a 22.5 degree angle. That feels pretty good. Yeah, and I don't know if it'll show up on the video. You can actually hear that blade. It makes a different sound once it has that roughness, that rough stone put like if you could look at it under a microscope, little jaggedy edge under it. By the second stroke, I heard that go away. So we're gonna go ahead and do about 2 more strokes on here. All right, we're gonna clean that blade. Now, a lot of people will clean their stone, and that's probably best before you move on. Now we're gonna move to the finishing stone. And these are the Arkansas whetstones, which I believe they're the best in the world. I mean, you can try the different ones, but the ones that come from Arkansas, the quarry there is phenomenal. Okay, this one's got some grit on it. I'm actually going to wipe this. Start over. My grandson comes in here and plays, so there's no telling what that boy's doing. All right, let's try that. The coarse stones will take much more oil than the fine stones. There, that's the last piece of grit there coming off. Great. The coarse stone, the oil will soak right through the porous stone, but on stones like this, it will not soak in. All right, so there again, about a 22.5 degree angle would be probably perfect for most commercial knives. That one's got a little grit to it, so even though I was on a pretty fine stone, already it's gone. Hopefully that's picking up. That's why I shut the door. On that second stroke, you could already hear the audible sound that change it made. There you go. This side's perfect, and I'm right-handed, so it's a little easier for me to get this angle perfect. I'm gonna do 2 strokes over here. There we go. That is what it needed. I'm gonna check the sharpness. Oh yeah. So it'll pop here already. But we're gonna go ahead and finish this off. So, all you need really is just a little piece of leather. And I'll show you how. And I'll just put it here so you can kind of see. Now, what a lot of people do when they're using a piece of leather, they'll come in and they'll do this. At the end of the strop, they'll increase the angle on the blade. Now, the problem with that is we're working this down to a very, very fine edge. Okay, it's microscopic. And even though you don't think this leather is abrasive, it is. And so whenever you come and then you roll that blade, you will get microscopic rolling on this tip. And we want to take that off, but I'll show you a little better way, okay? So we were at 22.5. We're gonna go to about 12 degree angle, or much less. What you want to do is basically the least amount of angle you can be at that your tip is still touching. And then this is really, really simple. Just wipe it all the way out. Right there's a little grit to the tip.